17, as I understand it, 1,700 signatures to qualify, 1,700 signatures that are verified to qualify this for the ballot to overturn the project.
Let me ask a question. Are those 1,700, is that from the county or the
Has to be from, it can be from the county, countywide. So I know that they gathered many new registrations and had people sign. But I also know from talking to people that it was very scurrilous the way they did it. They had a lot of misinformation. The same thing that's been going on with this the whole way through. Your wells are going to go dry. Your kids are going to be run over by trucks. You're going to be poisoned by toxic emissions. Just ridiculous things that if people read the environmental impact report, if they read the ruling by Judge Hermanson, that is very clear. Now, if you don't believe the environmental impact report, then read the ruling by Judge Hermanson, who's gone through all the information, who said the only deficiencies were 2 minor areas in the circulation element, which were corrected. It was brought back and certified. The other thing
is too. Wasn't the circulation element done, but it was just in a back page, so it wasn't
it was in the
clearly
appendix.
in the right place?
It was in the appendix, and he said, based on case law, that they needed to move that out of the appendix into the body.
How did you look at anything else, or even that, or did you just move that part up where
there was
it belonged?
that and one more issue on traffic circulation, but what the judge looked at everything, and in his final ruling he said, this is the only area I find deficient. He said no other areas of the environmental impact report are deficient. So if you don't believe me, if you don't believe anybody else, read Judge Hermanson's ruling. But the other thing about this this referendum process, there is language that they've created to go on the petition. That language is being scrutinized now, because what people have to remember is to overturn, you cannot overturn the whole project. All you can overturn is the Edwin Center North project, which is where the asphalt plant would be created and the processing. But as far as other elements, the Newman Ridge Project is a ministerial act that was created by use permit. You can't overturn that. You can't overturn the reclamation portion of the project. What you can overturn is the Edwin Center North, because it required a general plan amendment and zoning changes. So that is being looked at by our county council, and there may be some issues with this document. We'll see.
Okay, if they get the signatures, what happens? What triggers?
Well, they did get the signatures. They've submitted 2,300 signatures. Okay. Those will be looked at by our elections office. They'll have to verify all those signatures, verify the new registrations. They might have enough signatures to move forward with this, but what has to happen now is the language has to be looked at, because you cannot submit wrong language to the voters, because if voters are looking at something and saying, what is this going to do, and if they're being told it's going to overturn the whole project, I don't think that's going to hold up, because that is not the process. That's not how it works. That's not what you're capable of doing.
Who will see if that language is correct? Who's in charge of doing that?
Our county council is looking at that language. He'll work with our elections office to determine if that language is correct. If there are issues with it, who knows where it's going to end up. It'll probably end up in court, I would imagine, if our elections office decides this language was deceptive to the voters, which I have no reason to believe that this group does much else than be deceptive to the voters.
Let me give you one more question, and that would be, what would be the time frame for looking at the language to where it would come back up, or there's maybe another action?
I think the county has lots of time to look at it. They can place it on a special election. They can place it on the June of 2016 ballot. So I think the way I understand it, we have time for placement on a ballot someplace. If we go to a special election, we already know the cost will be about $100,000. So we'll have to decide on that.
Okay. Well, that was an update on where the Newman Reed Project is. Thanks for watching. There's more of Amador Live coming up right after this break. Stay with us.
You're watching Amador County's local television network, TSPN.